time for the nitty-gritty. Conversations get real live, it's time for the nitty-gritty. The revolution's not televised, it's time for the nitty-gritty. Reaching out to your conscious mind, it's time for the nitty-gritty. More than talking and taking action, it's time for the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
Yay!
Y'all
can do y'all thing.
Okay, well, here. Take two! Okay. Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Katniss from the Nitty Gritty Show. To my immediate left, we have guest Chardinae Wilson, who is joining our monthly women's panel. And to my immediate right, you recognize her face from last month, we have Simona. And today's theme is going to be discussing decisions, whether good decisions, bad decisions, reflecting on decisions, and also providing words of wisdom to young women on how to detect good decisions. So let's start off positive. What are some good decisions that you are currently making in your life right now?
You know what? So yesterday I went to, it was like a seminar, and they talked about like financial dependence, like becoming independent with debt. So I think one of the good decisions that I'm making right now is reevaluating my finances, building my budgets, both for like my business, for my personal life, for fun, and just like working to get a hold on things in 2019 and finish strong. Come through.
I think I'm going to echo those sentiments. I am on the verge of making smart decisions. I feel like when I was younger, I used to shop a whole lot. Now, I'm more so focused on how can I become debt free, how can I pay off my credit card debt, how can I refinance my student loans. And honestly, the only main purchases I really want to make are things that are like traveling, vacations, destinations, things of that nature. That's kind of like my good decisions. And I feel as though also my career track, I'm pretty proud of my career track. I'm not where I want to be, but I feel like I'm at a really good company, and I'm on the path to making the kind of money that I feel is just due. So those are my good decisions. How about you, Simona?
Mine has been more health-wise lately. Cut back on a lot of the sugar, and I realized that I'm a sugar junkie, like a true addict. It makes me feel bad because the first week I went without any sugar, I was having migraines. I was essentially dying. So I'm happy that I cut that out because clearly I needed to take a break from it. So sugar, and then, same, I really love my job. I love my job.
Yeah, you've got a cool.
I love my job.
Yeah, you have a cool job. Tell the viewers what exactly you do.
Oh yeah, so I do hair and makeup at Logan 14. I absolutely love it. I have a good team around me, like just wonderful, down-to-earth people who are actually really talented. It's very hard to find that. A lot of times you find people that are really talented, but they're assholes. So it's nice to be in an environment where everybody just is like, hey, how can we help you grow? We have people that make all this amount of money, and they're going to help you make that money too, like legitimately, not even worried about, like most salons have to deal with like the cattiness of like older stylists that don't necessarily want to help you because they feel like you're going to take from their pocket and you're going to take their clients.
Interesting.
Whereas in our salon, it's a completely different dynamic. They're like, we really believe in like what's for you is for you. And if you end up with one of my clients, then clearly they weren't my client. They must have been your client. I was just borrowing them for a time period. So it's just a good place to be, and I like it.
Gotcha. And then we're going to flip it. What are some decisions that you are currently making that you would like to change? I will start. So I think I want to get a hold of my eating. I feel like while I don't think I eat bad, I feel like my portion sizes are problematic. I can eat something, I'll sit there, and I'm pretty sure if I were to just drink water and let it subside, I'll be fine, but I always go back for seconds. I don't know why. I am greedy. And so I want to get a hold of my portion size. I really feel like my weight loss journey and even just me tightening and toning could be improved if I could just get a hold of my portion sizes, because so what I ate today, if I ate the whole sweet green bowl instead of half of it,
right?
See where I could be?
Right.
See? Anybody else? Oh, we got a visitor on IG. Hey.
Hi, visitor.
Anybody else want to talk about the decisions they want to make? Yes.
Yeah, I made some bad decisions this week. Normally I go out once a week, and I went out like the past 3 days. And my body's just like, nah, bro.
Not young like that no more.
ain't good for
You
nothing.
can't do this. You need to decide on the day, and that day needs to be the day before you're off, so you can recuperate. So that was not a good thing. I don't know. I think I've done a lot of little things that are outside of my norm. I mean, the sugar has helped because I think, and part of me is feeling like, oh, I got out the sugar, so now I can drink because I'm not really eating. So I'm just like trading calories. So I really got to watch that. But I think that's really it. Making sure I only go out like when I have time to recuperate from it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, procrastination has been real. And I don't know where it came from because I'm not like a typical procrastinator. Like, I like to plan, execute plan, keep it moving.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, like, even like getting places, like, oh, you know, I gotta be there at 8. I look up and it's like 7:15. I'm like, oh my God, you know, DC traffic, it's gonna take an hour already to get there. So just like being a better steward of my time, like, because procrastination has been real for me.
Right. And so I'm asking these good decisions and bad decisions, or things we need to improve on, or things that we like, because that leads us to our full discussion here when it comes to discernment and decision making. So first scenario is you as a woman have been dating a guy for a while, and he plans to take you out, let's say on a Wednesday. You guys talk about where you're going to meet, the time you're going to meet. What's have you're super excited, you find him attractive. This is like your second date. Time, you know, is getting to close to time. You actually get to the restaurant first, and he's nowhere to be seen. Next thing you know, you get a text after waiting for 15 minutes. Oh, I'm not going to make it. What are your thoughts, and what decision would you make thereafter regarding the trajectory of your relationship with this guy?
Me first?
It's
Yes.
been real.
Yeah.
You said what?
Basically.
It's been real.
It's been real. And why do you say it's been real? He's cute. He has money. Why do you say it's been real?
That's cool and all, but like, if I continue down this path, you're just gonna do it again. Like, I can understand if something terrible happened, or if, you know, things just don't link up and you have, like, I guess a great excuse. But I don't know. I feel like my patience is a lot shorter. The older I get, my patience is a lot shorter. Folks get a lot less second chances.
Interesting.
Come through with
I
that.
just can't.
Yeah, that is good. I want us to think about that later, about the age and how decisions are impacted by your wisdom as you accrue it over your time frame. How about you? What would you do in that scenario? Would you cuss him out? Would you call him and ask him, why did you tell me last minute? Would you end it? He's cute. He's got a lot of money.
You know, I'm fiery, and I am hot-headed, and so because I'm so career focused,
Hey,
I think
Minister Paul.
the worst thing you can do to me is actually waste my time. Because I'm meeting you on a Wednesday. Wednesday is like one of my 2 off days when I get all my stuff done. So that means now you have wasted my time when I could have done something else. Like, legit, everything that I do is scheduled. This is a stylist life. We become a slave to our schedule. So if it doesn't make the schedule, it's not going to happen. So now I have literally made time for you because I don't have time. So I've made time for you, and you just discounted the fact that I probably would have had something else to do, or could have gone and done hair, made some money, done some makeup, something that would have been more productive than sitting here waiting for you to tell me 15 minutes into our date that you're not going to come. Like, you knew before this that you weren't going to come.
Okay, so this is where I want to raise this. This is where I want to raise this. How important is it for a man to call you versus text you? Because to me, if a man planned a date and all of a sudden he cancels and you're already at the restaurant, which means he set the time up, so he knew what time you were going to get there. You said 7 o'clock. You're there waiting, and now he's texting you saying, I'm not going to make it. To me, it needs to either be life or death, meaning like your mom was in the hospital, or, you know, maybe some emergency work related. But even to that, I feel like it's appropriate to have a phone call. And I don't know why I feel like people think text is appropriate when it comes to, you know, time. What do you think?
Use your words. Like, I think that for text message, if it's something light, then cool. But like you said, you've already wasted my time. You already knew that you weren't going to be there. Like, if it's already, 15 minutes in, I'm already here on time waiting for you. You knew you weren't going to come. The least you could do is pick up the phone.
So why do you think women who meet guys like this tend to accept it? Like, I've had girlfriends who would tell me situations like this, and they'll be like, well, you know, I just thought it was a one-time thing, so I'll give him another chance. Do you think that's acceptable, or?
No.
No, what? Someone said, why is that not acceptable?
Because like, so for me personally, I don't mind the text because I know sometimes if I'm busy, if all I can do is text, I'm gonna text you.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't take it, I'm sorry, you're not gonna work with me because I'm gonna send a text. The problem is that you went out of our way to set this date. Now, whatever happened, mom in the hospital, blah blah blah, you could get a text out. It takes 6 seconds to send. I'm so sorry, I'm not gonna make it. And you knew, so he's 15 minutes late. He knew before that he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah.
He knew when his mom was getting loaded up in the ambulance that he wasn't going to make it. Or maybe he had to stay at work. You knew you needed to leave work at what time to meet me at 7, and at that time you weren't able to leave yet, and you still didn't call or text? No.
And let's keep it real. Maybe he found somebody who's probably more willing to give him what he wants.
Yeah.
Men do that all the time. So how important is the man to disclose that he is dating multiple women to you? Is that an important conversation to be had?
Yeah, I think so. Because at the end of the day, it's like, it impacts the way that I'm going to see you, the way I'm going to treat you. Like, if you want to be candy, be candy. Like, show up, we go on a date, you know, razzle dazzle. But if you want to be taken serious, I'm going to hold you to a different standard. And I'm going to take you serious or not take you serious. So I feel like, use your words. Say that, and don't be afraid of like what comes after it. I know some guys are like, oh, if I tell her that I'm dating multiple people, she's gonna be like, I'm gonna deal with you. I think that it depends on the maturity of the woman. Like, cause to be honest, I may be dating multiple dudes too, and I'm like, it's a vetting system. Like, everybody doesn't get, you know, the full char. So just be bold and be honest in whatever you're trying to be with that person.
Yeah.
I think that ties into what you were talking about decisions, because I don't feel like most guys are going to, or let me not say guys, most people may not necessarily disclose that without a question being asked. So if you haven't like made that decision, like, okay, let me clarify where he's deciding to go with this or where he's intending to go with this, you have to decide to ask that question. So that means that you have to know inside yourself, like, what do you actually want from this person? You may not really want anything. You may know, like, he always flaking, but he's fun when we connect. And that's all you want.
So can we talk about differentiation between, okay, for example, I feel like there is a common misnomer that all women want to get married. I've come to meet different women, some women who do not have any desire to be married. With that being said, what indicators are there when you meet a guy that this guy is just fun, have a good time, he looks good, versus a guy that is a quality material for a potential husband, spouse? What indicators do men give you that they get kind of put in these categories? Because I feel like a lot of men assume that they are the chosen one. It's like, no, sir, actually, no, you're not. I would never consider you for a husband. But I don't know. But society has pumped some of these dudes to make them think that, you know, they are the chosen one. We've got a comment here. How soon after meeting someone do y'all feel the what are your intentions questions should be asked? Hold on, let me get the rest of this. And answer. You guys can go ahead and answer that.
Shoot, right away, if that's how you feel. Everybody has to go with their own intuition, you know? Like, for me, like, if I'm interested in somebody, like, you can tell when you're really interested in somebody. So if I feel like, I'm really interested in them, I'm gonna ask. Because I know I like them. And so I'm like, I'm not about to get myself all hyped up and you don't want nothing from me.
Yeah.
So I want to know now, like, what do you really want?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree too. I think that everybody is so guarded, especially like women and men. Folks think like, if I ask you like, so what are your intentions? That means that we're gonna get married tomorrow. It's like, no, bro.
Right.
I'm just trying to see where your head at. Right. So like sometimes it comes up in conversation, like, but I think that it should definitely be stated, like, yo, this is what I'm trying to do, or this is what I'm not on. I think folks sometimes stray away from saying like what they don't want, and that's okay. So like I said, everybody's so guarded. Folks want to look their best. Everybody's being their best the first 3 months of
their representative. Exactly, their representative.
And the real person show up 3 months later, and you're like, who is this dude? So
their representative is something else.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting how in this day of social media that like everybody always talks about how they want to be booed up or they want to be goals, but from conversations, pictures, experiences, it seems like people don't want to put the work in. I don't know what kind of picture Hollywood's projecting in the minds of these young men and women, or reality TV to make people think that relationships are just peaches and cake and roses and what so have you. So when it comes to decisions, I guess I would like to hear from you. How do you decide that someone is worthy enough for you to say, I want to be in a relationship with you? And what is your understanding of what entails in a relationship, or what the expectations of a relationship? Because I can tell you it's not easy at all.
It's not.
It's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
If you got a weak stomach,
Don't do
or
it.
you feel as though
Don't.
you soft, or you emotional, or you real sensitive,
Yeah.
or you got some kind of what's it called, the masculinity thing, toxic masculinity. I'm gonna tell you right here, right now, boo. Relationship ain't for you. It ain't for you, boo boo. Cause you know, if homegirl out here getting the money, you up here salty because she can make more money than you. That ain't for you. In this day and age, especially in DC, chicks are getting money. I need for you to deal with that.
Okay.
I need for you to deal with that. So I would like to know from y'all, what are your expectations in regards to relationships? What do you think it entails? And why do you think people have this misunderstanding or this misnomer that relationships just, you know, just roses and cupcakes? You know, you look good, I look good. That's pretty much what I feel like the prerequisite is out there. As long as they look good, girl, you should go for him. I heard a lot of girls say that.
Yeah. You look good, I look good. Oh, you like to travel? I like to travel too. Let's get in a relationship. I think, at least for me, I found, first of all, the whole social media thing, like the pressure or let's be relationship goals. I have a lot to say about that, but I think that at the end of the day, realize that like folks are going to show you what they want you to see. So you're going to see a lot of their happiest moments, where folks maybe look like they're smiling or look like they're happy, and who knows what's going on behind that screen or, you know, behind that handle. So think about that first. But for me, I would say, so I read this book a while ago, and I probably should revisit it, but it was called The 7 Levels of Intimacy. The author's name is slipping my mind right now, but when I tell you, he went in on me and made me feel like I had never been in an intimate relationship. Like the different levels of, I feel like I was like, you know, just so basic with a lot of people that I spent years with. And so what I would say is like, understand what being in a relationship means to you. And then with that other person, like, have a conversation about it. Don't just be like, okay, we go together now. Like, we can just move on and live happily ever after. I think, like, having a conversation, carving out what you want that relationship to look like, what are your cornerstones or non-negotiables, that, you know, if you do this or if we don't agree on that, it's just not going to work off the rip or whatnot. Like, having those real conversations with folks and being friends with folks and getting to know people, I think that makes being in a relationship a little bit, you know, it gives you the foundation to make it a little easier to dive in.
And Simona?
It's tough. Part of why I'm always alone, because like I want a best friend.
Interesting.
I spend most of my day with customers being, you know, with my mask and my guard way high. I can't come home with a mask and a guard. I have no representative when I'm off. That bitch is gone. I left her ass at work. So when I'm with someone, I need someone that can be as authentic with me as I'm going to be with them. And it's hard to find because people are just like she said, you're like, oh, you look good, I look good, we're together. Like, how are we together? What do you know about me?
Very surface.
Not like, what's my favorite color? What do you know about me? Like, if in a certain scenario, do you know me well enough to know how I would react or to know what I think about something? Or like, and most people don't know that. They just know very little superficial things about you, and they think like, oh, you know me. You don't really know me. Like, do you know me well enough to know like, oh man, she's having one of her spaz out moments. I'm just gonna leave her ass alone, and then come back later on. But we still cool because we're best friends, and you understand. Oh, she is crazy sometimes. You know, just gotta ignore her for a little bit, and then she'll come back around.
We had some comments. So Paul says relationships should be taken as directed and kept out of reach of children. Shawty got to have substance. Men want women that can hold conversations too. So I feel like I want to talk about the fact that in relationships, people change because seasons change. And I think people don't think about that because when you take your vows, it's for better or for worse. Meaning if I'm in a relationship with you and you lose a parent, you may become somebody different. If I lose a parent, I may become somebody different. Work may stress you out so that you gain weight. Am I going to still love you, or am I going to only love the person that I fell in love with because at that time of my life, that's what made me happy.
Right.
That's why communication is key, because in relationships, things change and you should be able to express that to your partner without them getting upset.
Right.
I am an avid also believer of people going to counseling. So what are your thoughts on the expectation of a relationship? Like, I don't think people think about things can change at a moment's notice. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Same thing with friendships.
That's what I was gonna say. So I think that's what I've had like the same best friend since like middle school. So I think that's where my best friend mentality comes from. And like our relationship is probably one of the best relationships that we have, even though we're talking about romantic relationships, our relationships. So we're best friends because we change with each other. And so that's where communication comes into tact. Like, people stop communicating with each other for long stretches of time, and then they look up and they're like, oh, I looked up and they were something else. I was like, no, like, they've been becoming this new person. You were just so far in your own world, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, that you had no idea that they were changing. So if the communication is like always constant, not meaning like, oh, we just got to talk about every stupid little thing, but no, like real things that matter. If that communication is solid and it's always constant, and you're both like the type of people that are trying to grow in the same direction, you'll be totally fine. Because it's not like what the person has that makes them good to you. It's like who they are as an individual, like what are their life goals, what type of person they are. Like, not, oh, he's so cute, or oh, he's so fit, or oh, he has all this whatever bullshit card he's on total next week. Like,
But that's what people fall in love with. Unfortunately, people fall in love with things. With I have had so many older women say you should never marry for love. You should marry for money and for stability, because in their mind, well, if a man cheats, some women really believe all men cheat. If a man cheats, at least you'll be able to cry your tears away to the bank. That's what someone told me.
So basically, they're just gonna live their life unhappy, which is totally fine if they've made their peace with it. I feel like everybody can do what they want to do. Like, if you're okay with saying, my husband makes bread, so he can go out and cheat, and I'm gonna act like I don't see it, and I'm just gonna keep buying all my little nice things, and that makes you happy, go ahead.
That's real.
Sell your boat.
That's real.
You better live your life.
Right. No, that's real, because I feel like there's no right or wrong answer. I feel like in relationships, even in friendships, you gotta do what makes you happy. Even in like friendships, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like friendships should be mutually like there should be reciprocation, right? If you have a friend that always wants to unpack her woes, her troubles onto you, and you don't get an opportunity to really unpack your woes or troubles, or she makes everything about herself, or if you guys go out and for whatever reason she has to have attention, that may not be the best friend for you. But then again, you got to think about, what is your relationship built on? Because I know certain girls who are friends just because they're both cute. And in their mind, we keep together, we can go out there and be bad chicks together. But at a moment's notice, that same friend will talk about one or vice versa.
Right.
And again, this, me growing older, I had to determine, what does Katrina want? What is my expectation of my relationship with my boyfriend and my relationship with friends? Because everybody who I'm cool with does not get the friend title. Are y'all the same way? Some people are associates to me.
Yeah.
See, and I use like the word friend loosely. I'll admit to that. But I only have 2 best friends. Those are my boys.
What you think, Shauna?
I'm real cordial. I will keep it moving, but there's like a circle of folks that I found myself with that I actually trust, that know things about me that nobody else would know, things that I'm not proud of about myself. And so like, I confide in them, they confide in me, and they know they can call me up and go off, and if I just need to listen and be that ear for them, I can be that to them, and I know that if I need that, they'll be that to me. But the circle's small, like everybody don't get that.
The circle's small.
There was a comment from Facebook. They said it feels like more and more people are looking for boxes to be checked than actually building something with someone. How do you guys feel about that? Well, like for instance, like they're looking like, oh, is he 6 foot or taller? Or is she got the Coca-Cola bottle shape? Are they in a fraternity or sorority? Do they have a degree? What kind of job they got? Like, they're looking at statuses and how they check those boxes off, bases off what their dream girl or woman looks like. So
yeah, I think that's because of society, and I think people date people to impress their friends. I'm gonna leave that there. What y'all think about that? I know guys who date certain chicks just so they can get approval from their friends.
Oh yeah.
I think like that to me is a sign of you need a little more self-reflection, because those type of superficial boxes aren't going to bring you happiness. You know, if they're like you said, they're a certain height or they make a certain amount of money, like, okay, people change over time. That guy that's 6'3", when you guys get older, he's going to be hunching over.
Or what if he gets into a car accident?
Yeah, exactly.
Get into a car accident, he's gonna lose his legs, or you know what I mean. You don't know. You really don't know like what happens. Is there a problem with having a checklist? I don't think so. I think what's on your checklist makes the deal. Like for me, like part of the things on my checklist, like I like to be outside all the time. I run outside. I will hike. I will spend most of my off day outside just doing random shit. So do I want to be with somebody that hates being outside and every time we outside they're upset? No, I don't. So that's a little check mark on one of my lists. Like, you need to be outdoorsy. Does it make you a bad person if you're not? No.
Right.
Good for you. But you don't fit my checkbox because I'm going to be outside.
Yeah. That makes me think about this dude I know that hates the beach, and I'm like, what type of person are you? You like the beach, like,
right?
Talking about he get irritated because of the sand, but I believe in having a checklist, not so that every person that you meet you can be like, oh, does he fit? Does he fit? Nope. Let's keep it moving. But I think it's more so for you to understand the things that you like, the things that you want. Now, I think that if you're the type of person where you got like a 3-page checklist, drill it down, understand your cornerstones, what are your non-negotiables or whatever. But I don't think there's a problem with having with knowing what you like, knowing what you want. Are you gonna get everything on there? Probably not, or probably so. Like, the universe answers, but yeah, I wouldn't say I would live my dating life looking at a checklist, wondering like, oh, if he don't fit this, then I can't be with him.
Yeah.
But there's some things though, you know, like I think last time you were talking about like religion.
Oh,
some people, that's a big check mark.
Well, no, religion is huge for me.
Right.
I cannot date someone that does not identify himself as a Christian.
But that's an okay thing to know about yourself. You know, you see how we've changed it from just like superficial things that you list to it's more of like internal, like you know what's going to work well with your own life, and you are religious, so you couldn't be with someone that's not like that. It just wouldn't work.
Yeah, and I need to be with a heterosexual male. I'm putting that out there because there are some guys that identify as bisexual, or totally maybe one day they want to be gay, whatever. Like the download thing can't roll for Cat. Cat can't do a man that is unsure about his sexuality. You need to be very sure on the right side of the plane that you like women, and women only. And one woman at that, I need a man of monogamy. I say it all the time. I need a man of monogamy. I need a man that is okay with being with one woman, who is secure with being with one woman, who ain't gonna get, all uptight because his boy's like, man, you always with your girl. I need a man who's gonna tell his friends, look, I'm trying to be with my girl instead of being with you. I need a man who's gonna give up the video games for his boo as well. But see, I need a man of monogamy.
I'm gonna play the video games with my man. But see
look
what
at
I mean?
you, Simona.
I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it. I ain't shit. I'm playing. I'm dying and all that.
So I got about
like 3. If you sitting here on the couch, I know where you are.
I'll do Mortal Kombat, I'll do Mario World, and I probably do Dynasty Wars. Other than that, you ain't gonna get any games to me. Comment. So I'm with her 100%. It's what's on the chat box that matters. True. Right, and I want to switch it up a little bit here to next scenario. What you say, what? So the next scenario is you're dating a guy. You guys have been dating for 2 years. He's never mentioned his family. You've never met his family. The holidays are approaching. You asked him to come to visit your family for Christmas. He gets an excuse as to the reasons why not. And then when you ask him why he's never invited you to see his family, he gets another excuse as well. Is that a red flag? Yes or no? And what would you do in that scenario as far as the trajectory going forward?
You're living a double life. I'm just be real. Like, it's something he has not told you. Like, there's no reason why. Like, if your family is jacked up, cool. Like, everybody got them crazy folks in their family. People that you're not necessarily proud of, but it's blood and you love them. So yeah, it's something going on. I would dig into that a little deeper.
Double life. Simona.
He got a wife.
And see,
listen. He very well would have a wife.
Possibly, or maybe they just not ready yet. They don't know if they have that commitment to you yet. Because I'm the same way. I'm not going to introduce you to my family, and I don't know.
But 2 years is a long time to be dating somebody and be a little tipsy-turvy, unsure.
That's okay. To me, it's like...
I see your thing. I'm gonna go with Sean. I think that you are the side chick.
Yeah.
I think that you're the side chick, and that's the reason why you haven't met his family. What's have you? I think you're the side chick, and you need to be very clear and ask homeboy at that moment in time. It's about to be New Year's Eve. We done went through Christmas Eve and gave you an excuse. Now look, what's up, homie? And I think you should have the conversation about dating exclusively, because dating means very different to different people. Some people say dating and they think that we are exclusive. Some people say dating and that just means we hang out, we have a good time.
Right.
How important is it to define your role in someone's life? Meaning, making it very clear that you guys are exclusive. Because I know a lot of chicks who would just date the same guy for a long time and they don't know what they are. And that's, to me, a waste of time. But then again, that's my requirement.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I think it depends on what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, that's true.
For me, you know, I've dated people where I'm just like, I know I really don't want anything from them.
Yeah, this is fun.
So do I care about the definition? No, I don't care. Because I don't want anything from
That's
you.
fair. That's fair.
Like, I legit don't want anything from you. You run around saying, no, this is my girlfriend. And if I hear it, I'm like, when did we talk about this?
Would you tell me that in private or in public?
So I have to correct it. So I'm not one to just flat out try to embarrass somebody. That's just not my personality. I'm a nice person. But if he's like, oh, this is my girlfriend, I'm like, huh. And then we're going to keep moving on. And then later on be like, what the fuck was the car ride?
Right. Do we have this conversation? Did I miss something?
Like, don't, but I'm direct. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to embarrass somebody.
Yeah, I wouldn't embarrass. I would be taken aback. I would have to probably guard my face and be like, and make sure I don't make the face. But yeah, that girlfriend title, it's interesting because some folks throw it around and be like, oh, this is my girlfriend, and they want folks to know, so they think that you're off the market or whatever. Or I'm claiming this like this is me, versus like this is my girlfriend. I'm taking you serious. Let's build something. Like we're moving towards X or whatever. So. Yeah, we would have to have that conversation. That's not something you just throw out. I did have a dude try to, he tried to like say like, oh, you know, I'm gonna lock you down because the summer coming up and I don't need you to be out here.
What? Lock you down for the summer?
Exactly.
Well, I'm a grown woman.
And that's the thing, like that comes to me like with men and ownership, and like you said, like men liking to. Some men liking to be single and do their own thing or whatever, get a lot of women. And some men liking the image of being with a woman or being with someone and being that perfect boyfriend or whatever. So, like I said, he benefiting from it more than anyone sometimes. So, I think it's a conversation that you need to have, and both of y'all need to be on the same page so you can move forward powerfully.
I definitely think that couple should be on the same page. Is there another question?
Yeah, so no, it kind of goes with, there's two comments. It said, if you're celebrating holidays on the day after or before, you a side chick, boo, he got somebody else. And then the other comment was, how do you become a boyfriend and girlfriend? Is he supposed to make a girlfriend proposal? Like, you know, he's supposed to take you out to dinner and be like, hey.
That is a good question.
Because a lot of times it just happens, right?
I'm going to tell you, that is a good question. So, I think a conversation should be had, but sometimes you end up getting the title or you have the conversation because enough is enough. I know with me, it was a time period. I'm just like, we're dating. I don't know where it's going. And so, you know, we're at the movies and, you know, a girl comes on the screen and like, oh yeah, she bad. I'm like, what are you telling me she's bad for? And the coming back was, oh, because she fine. Now, you my friend, I can tell you whatever. So I'm like, I'm sorry. Why am I just your friend where you feel comfortable talking about the attractiveness of another woman? At that moment in time, I decided I was done. I wasn't gonna date this man no more. I'm done. He's as soon as I get home, his name about to be erased in my phone, and I would never see him again. But I think he sensed that I was upset because then he asked me, and then we had a very long conversation and we unpacked things. And then a week later, I was his girlfriend. So I think that sometimes it comes together by happenstance. But I think that as a woman, as I got older, I realized that I'm not saying you have to demand or give ultimatums, but you should have respect for yourself. If you know what you want, do not stay in something hoping it's going to change, because it's not.
Yeah.
Don't give any more of yourself if someone's not willing to at least meet you halfway, because it's got to be mutually exclusive and it has to be agreed upon. And I feel like so many girls be, well, if I just lose weight, you know, he'll give me the title, or I know I'm wifey, and the other chick is yeah. Like, have y'all seen some of these like girls on reality TV when they be arguing like, oh, I know I'm wifey, girl, you don't have no ring, how are you wifey?
Listen,
Tell me,
I can't watch it.
what is this wifey term? I want to know what y'all think about that, because wifey kills me.
I don't like it either. I thought it was just a cute song.
Exactly.
Is it a song?
Every time folks bring it up.
Will you be my wifey?
Right.
If
So
it's
I thought that was like
nobody's
him
wife.
proposing.
It's
But if
going
they're not
down.
like proposing, like, will you be my wifey? Like, well, wifey?
Oh, you mean,
Like,
will you be? Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a little song.
Yeah. But if it's not like, if it's not legit, like, you're their wife,
You're not getting that type
what's
of
a
access to
wifey?
me.
What is a wifey? I'm with you. What is it?
I don't know what wifey means, but I know a lot of girls who will, like, there was one woman on Steve Harvey, and she was saying how she's dating this guy who, this is another scenario, that who's separated, and she's waiting for him to get an official divorce because she knows that he's in love with her and that the wife can't do it like her. And I'm just like, you are delusional. But the thing is, I'm wondering, and this goes back to decision making, I'm wondering, is it because there is a shortage of black men that are available? When we're talking about statistics, it's not being that I'm being negative, I'm being real. There are a lot of black men who are incarcerated, there are a lot of black men who identify as being homosexual, and then there are a lot of black men who just don't have the same education level as some black women. Thus, it kind of affects potential earning potential,
Right.
because you obviously want someone who's going to make around the same amount of money you do, or if not more. And so I think some women just settle because they're like, well, there's nothing else out here. What do you think?
I think that's an excuse. That is an excuse. Like, it's nice to blame your singleness or whatever on something else. Like, oh, it's no men out here, or they're not checking for me, or, you know, they don't make enough money or stuff like that. I think that is just an excuse. Like, there's someone out here that will respect you, that will give you the things, not necessarily that you want, but that you need in a partner, and you can give that to them as well, whatever it is that they need. But I feel like you don't even need to be out here if you're trying to be settling. Like, what are you dating for? I would much rather be by myself. I'll go home to my dog before I'll be out here settling for a dude that's like out here just doing anything. I don't know. It's just, I think that's an excuse.
It's what they wanted.
Well, yeah.
Some people
like
wanted
drama.
a man.
Yeah.
They wanted a man. So that was what they were willing to deal with, to have a man.
Yeah, some people like
And they're
drama.
okay with it.
Do you guys have a earning potential? We talked about this last week. Requirement.
Requirement, I think is interesting because, like, we're in DC. Depending on where you are, who you attract, like, you have to be on your stuff out here. Like, unless you're in your mom's basement or something, or you like just buying out tables every weekend, like, you have to be on yourself to be able to take care of yourself. Just for the bare minimum. So personally, I would say I don't necessarily be like, oh, he don't make six figures, he gotta go. Like, I don't think I have earning like a bracket that a guy has to be in, but like I said, if you can't take care of yourself, then 9 times out of 10, we're not gonna even cross paths.
Right.
So
I think being self-sufficient is definitely a standard for me. Being self-sufficient. I feel like there are a lot of people who can floss, but if you live in at home in your mama's basement, it's easy for you to floss with them with James. I want to see how you react to paying bills, how you react to when you get a ticket, how you deal with just life, because that's called adulting.
Yeah,
so that being self-sufficient is to me my standard. What about you, Simona?
I just, my personality type, like, I'm always moving, I'm always working, I'm always looking towards the next thing, just like what you said. If I'm ambitious and you're not ambitious, we're just not going to get along very long. You could fake it for a little bit, but at a certain point, I'm just going to irritate you, because it's going to be like, man,
That's real.
You always looking for the next thing. No shit.
Yeah. That's
real.
real.
That
Yeah.
You're just going to be bored sitting here watching me? Okay.
Yeah, I got 2 comments from Facebook. Ladies aren't checking for a lot of good dudes. Nobody wants Van Jones back in the day. None of you checking for Donald Glover or Wayne Brady. So that's who your comment on the shortest of men, especially black men. Some good black men out there,
but
but
that comment up because when people found out that Van Jones was married to a white woman, people were upset. Like, why is he married to a white woman? But a lot of guys a lot of black guys came out and was talking about what guy was it that was a big deal that he was married to a white woman? I can't.
The dude from Power. St. Patrick.
Amari
Harper. That's who it was.
Mm.
And so people were saying, well, a lot of times the guys that generally end up with these kind of women end up liking anime. They're kind of corny, and generally they're overlooked. So it's like, why are girls getting upset anyway? What are your thoughts? Because if I'm being completely honest, I probably would never go for Donald Glover. While I think he is talented, something about him is just quite strange for me. But Van Jones, I don't think he's a bad looking guy. He's very articulate. He seems like he's got himself going on. Maybe he probably was a cornball, but I'm the kind of chick that I can see potential in guys. Not that you should just rest on potential, because sometimes potential never comes to fruition. Exactly. Don't rest on it. But I guess, are you okay with dating the corny guy, or do you see the problem being that some women don't find the good guy or a guy that's going to love them properly because they are so infatuated with the dangerous guy, the bad boy guy, the sexy guy?
Man, I'm just over the guys that pose that question, because legitimately they look for the worst women, and then they talk about how black women never like us.
Yeah,
because you dated all hoes. So that's like you talking about women going for the bad guys. The women are going for the bad guys, and y'all going for the hoes, and then saying all black women don't like corny guys.
It's true. That is true.
We watch Step Brothers. I like doing karate in the basement. Like, what you talking about in the garage? I don't mind the little corny stuff. It's fun. Like, what else we gonna do in the house all day? We can't.
I watch Star Wars and go and get my lightsaber like chong chong chong.
I didn't already map mine out. I built my lightsaber. Okay, it's like $600, so I'm waiting. I think I'm gonna do it for Christmas. The joint is lit. Okay,
you're telling the truth. I know a guy who go in on Facebook every day, every single day, without fail, about how black women are selfish, black women ain't ish, black women don't want to give no booty unless you make a whole bunch of money. And I think that he goes.
But then they be with the gold digging white women. What you talking about? Black women don't want to be with nobody, but this white chick is only with you because you worth millions. You better get out of my face. Cause guess what? When you be broke, Becky gonna leave you.
Right. Like, look at Tiger Woods.
I say, love who you gonna love. If she black, if she white, cool.
Right.
Whoever loves you, love who you gonna love. But don't drag black women in the process. Like, if you don't like black women, just say, I don't like black women. And just keep it at that. But don't go in or whatever and compare, the Latinas and the white women.
that lets you know they're trash.
Exactly.
As soon as they start doing that, you're like, okay, you've been dating hoes. You're trash.
And it's hard to corny dudes though, like, because the thing about corny dudes, people are like, if he corny, if he like anime, he's gonna be good to me.
Nah.
Corny men are trash too. Like, let's be real. Like, it's not that you're corny and I don't want to deal with you. Right, because I like some corny dudes, like, for real. And when they play me, I was like, I can't believe I got
it's corny. Listen, men are men at the end of the day. It's not about if they're corny. It's not about if they're not. It's not about their church guy. Exactly. It's about their heart. It's an individual decision. They trash. She right. The trash can. I know church boys. Listen, I know some church boys that are straight trash cans. They should be living with Cookie Monster trash can, because that's how bad they are out here. But you're saying the truth, and I feel like there are a lot of black men that will go in on black women, and it's like. But the thing is, black women always show up. Yeah. We always show up. So what is it that triggers them to feel like we are the problem? I don't know what it is.
It's an excuse. How about you look at yourself, sir? Like,
that's what I was about to say.
Go inside. Like, go inside.
Go with God.
I feel like it's an insecurity. It's like bullies. Yeah. They want to deflect and put it off on you. So it's like, what is it that you hate so much? Now all of a sudden all black women are terrible. Like, we don't all bash men. There are a few of us that say, all black men, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the majority of us.
Yeah.
We got our hearts broken how many times, and we still be like, it's okay, you're my brother. I love you, brother.
And speaking of that, because today's theme was about decisions, do you remember your first heartbreak? And can you describe what it felt like and how you got over it?
I died.
I was dying too.
I thought I was on my deathbed. Like,
I was 23 years old. And I thought I was dying. I don't know about y'all, but I remember crying so much that my pillow got so wet that I gave myself a head cold. Because that's how much I was crying. I was devastated. I thought I was the end of the world. I just thought I was devastated. I didn't want to eat anything. I was like 115 pounds. I was so skinny.
Yeah.
I didn't want to eat anything. I just was like devastated. Like, I don't understand. I've given so much. And now looking back on the girl, it's laughable.
Oh my gosh. But I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you broke my heart looking back on it. But it was real. Like, the first time, I feel like, I can't remember what song I was listening to, but every single song made me cry. Like, Usher, everything. I'm like, this is the end of the world. Like, I'm just going to be by myself for the rest of my life. Like, it's not worth it. But, like I said, I'm happy I ain't with him now. Like,
You?
I died. I died for like 3 weeks straight.
Yeah.
I didn't function. I just flat out didn't function. I legit was like, there was Simona and then Simona and the breakup, and I died.
Do you guys have any advice for young girls who are feeling like they have to be in a relationship? I honestly feel like this is my advice, so don't take it with a grain of salt. If you find who you feel is your significant other, the perfect match, go for it. But I honestly feel like between your teens up to 25, I don't believe you should be trying to get locked down pursuing marriage. That is my opinion. I feel like you're just too young, you don't know yourself. That's me. What do you guys think? What advice do you guys have for young girls when it comes to dating and being married? I feel like being married at age 20 is too young.
yeah.
Like, my mom was married at 19. Like, what?
I echo
What?
that.
Why? You were young.
Right.
But my mom and dad are approaching 40 years of marriage in June. So, and that's like a testament.
That was her boo.
Yeah.
Couldn't nobody tell her.
Yeah, I echo that. I feel like it's cool to date or whatever. Like, find what you like. Find yourself first of all. Like, who are you? Because I think that time period, that's an interesting time period, especially for women,
Yeah.
to understand, like, who am I? Or not even who am I, but, like, who do I want to be?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you need to have a plan, have everything mapped out or whatever. But personally, I think that 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be in anything serious anyway.
No.
You know how, like, I was in relationships where I took folks way too serious, way before their time. And, like, looking back on it, yeah, it was a learning experience. I got, a lot of nuggets from that. But, yeah, they wasn't discerning of that. So, learn yourself, find out who you want to be, and then, move into your late 20s powerfully. But
Yes, I agree. You?
I don't mind it. I just feel like it's more up to. I feel like a lot of people in our generation, we were raised by parents who were very overprotective, so it was very hard to discover ourselves
That's
until
true.
we got older.
That is true.
So I feel like with our kids, because we're more like allowing of like expressing, feelings and things like that, they may be able to fall in love younger than we were because they'll be more in tune with themselves because we've allowed them to have these safe spaces where they can just exist and be fully expressed and really know who they are and grow into who they are versus, coming up in church was like, can't do this, you can't.
Exactly.
just don't do
Exactly.
it.
Just don't breathe. Just don't, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Do I not move? Can I move yet? You know what I mean? And you just feel restricted in every single way that you turn. So then when you became, for me, when I hit like 17, I was bad. So when I hit those little ages, I needed to know who the hell I was because I had spent all this time trying to fit a box and a mold that my parents were making for me.
Yep.
So it was clearly I wasn't going to be able to love anybody because I hadn't even learned loving me yet.
Exactly.
But if we have people that, as they grow up, they already know how to love themselves, they learn themselves, they know the things that they like, that they don't like. I don't see anything wrong with them falling in love a little bit younger as long as it's something that's healthy. Like, what I thought was love back when I was younger was definitely not healthy. So if that's something else, I'm like, you're probably not quite ready. But if you have people that know what they want from life, even if they don't know exactly what it is, they know like the type of things that they want, the type of people they like to be around, the type of like work that they like to do, leave them alone. If they're functioning, they're doing things that are okay, they're not hurting anybody, great, be in love. You guys aren't out here playing each other or being superficial. You're actually creating like an intimate bond, which what you were saying about that book when we were like, all these layers of intimacy, like have we really hit these? If they've been able to like seriously build an intimate bond with someone, even at a young age, great. Do you?
The thing about the young age, though, it makes me a little bit nervous. I feel like as a parent, you have a responsibility to allow your child to self-develop, like you said. But when you don't, you're gonna have like some of these. You're gonna have your girl grow up to be like some of these girls with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Who got taken advantage of because they were young, they were impressionable. They kept thinking, oh, I'm getting ready to be a star. And now look at him. He's like mind controlling these young girls. And so I would like to know your opinion on, is it okay for a young girl to date an older man? Yes or no, or why not?
No.
Just what I said. No.
I would say, why would an older man want to date a young girl?
Because he's trash. You can't get a woman his age.
Like,
so you think like a 20-year-old should have no business dating a 40-year-old?
That's because this 40-year-old man legitimately likes 20-year-olds because they're young and they're impressionable.
Exactly.
And the women his age are giving him too much that he just don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
And it's easier for him to talk to a 20-year-old. All he got to do is take her nice places and she's impressed because he has money because he's fucking 40.
Exactly.
He's been working forever.
So he should have money.
He's trash. He should have money.
yeah.
So my take on it is no.
No.
She's grown. She's going to do what she want to do. Can bonds happen from that? Absolutely. But you look at most of the men that do that, generally kind of trashy.
I agree. I echo that 100%. Like I said, why would an older man want to date a 20-year-old? Like, y'all gonna be talking about the Real Housewives or, in TV, like whoever Little Baby is. Like, sir, I feel like who you are with like 20 years of experience and like real life stuff, how do y'all even connect? And I get it, like some folks are like, advanced or whatever, a little bit more mature. But at 20, you can only be so mature.
Listen,
like,
and then a 40-year-old, like she said, these girls are impressed by these older men. I see it all the time in DC. They be out here, well, he bought me these red bottoms.
sugar babies.
Yes.
I think dating and sugar babying is totally two different things.
I think
So do you recommend that people get sugar baby?
Hey, girlfriend, if you are like a woman that connect with your independence in that way that all you want from this old dude is to buy you stuff and to pay for your bills and school and travel and stuff, do you.
And jig on Instagram.
It's like, do you. I'm on your side when I get that.
I would never sugar baby, but I ain't gonna knock the sugar baby hustle because it's like, at the end of the day, it's a mutual exchange.
Exactly.
You understand your role in the relationship, and he understands his.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you do the sugar baby situation, you go for it. What you think? I don't think I have to do it because I feel like I feel like I'm a kind of person where I really do believe in such thing as a soul tie, and I really believe that that I have value in my body, and so I feel like I know I would feel it. It would make me feel good at night because at the end of the day, things get old. Even when I buy new shoes, for the first couple of months they fly, but then by the end of the year, I don't even care about it no more.
Yeah.
So, but that's me. What do you think about sugar baby?
I say, do you? Like, I went to Kent State, and when they ran a whole episode on the news about how Kent State has some of the highest paid sugar babies, and I'm like, yo, I would have never thought of this. Being in school or whatnot, I was hustling backwards. But personally, for me, I don't think it's for me. If it's for you, you're cool with that or whatnot. You can just do you or whatnot. Collect your bag, sis. But
get your bag.
But they're having more communication in their relationship than most people with these fake relationships. So they're fully expressed.
Yeah.
Because the sugar daddy is saying, hey, this is what I do. I like to spoil my baby, This is what I expect from you.
Right.
And she's saying, well, this works for me, this doesn't work for me, I can do this, I can do that. And they are legit laying out the details, boundaries, what works, what doesn't work. Whereas most people are just kind of going along like, oh, I think he's my boyfriend.
In a situation.
Whereas she knows, this is my sugar daddy.
Right.
As long as he don't know that I'm talking to somebody else, he don't really care. But when he calls, I need to answer.
Right.
They have more communication.
I say go forth and be great, sister girl. If you in your 20s and you hot and you got that body to pull them and whatever, you go for it, sister girl. Get your bags and get your trips. Run on the treadmill, eating salads like
Pay
Drake
your bills though.
Do it, girl. Right. Pay your sugar. Here's the thing. I'm not condoning sugar babying, but I will say if you go sugar baby, instead of asking for bags and shoes, you need to get him to pay for your student loans. That's the ultimate shit right there. That's how you do it, boo. That's how you do it.
This Chinese chick. She had the 24 boyfriends to buy her 24 iPhones. She sold them phones, took that money, bought a house.
Listen,
that's how you be a sugar baby.
That's how to plan. Have a plan about it. If you gonna get your money away,
The craziest story I saw, it was a dude that was a sugar baby for this dude. And for his birthday, his sugar daddy bought him like this nice apartment in New York, and it was in his name. It was paid for. It was all that. So like you said, if you're gonna do it right.
Do it right.
Bags, shoes.
I'm saying, like, girl, forget about the rent battles. Have him sign a documentation or give you a check to let him know that at the end of my schooling, when I want to be a doctor, it's gonna cost me $100,000. Let him give you a check, okay, that you can take to the bank. And you ain't got to take out no student loan, so you walk away scot-free and you a doctor. Now, that's how you sugar baby.
That's all she
shares.
That's how you do it.
Get them to buy you 20 of them.
Right, because some of these sugar babies ain't never even left they street corner. It's like, what you sugar babying for? You haven't even been overseas or got any stamps in your passport. What are you doing with this? That's evidently that skill ain't really working for her. Well, it is 8:55, so we have 5 minutes left. And on this theme of decision making, bad or good, I'm going to allow our guests to impart words of wisdom based upon their past experiences of signs in which people can tell, yes, this is a good decision. Signs in which people can tell, no, this is not a bad decision. So anybody listening can take your experiences as potentially something to help them when deciding what to do in life. Because at the end of the day, when you make a decision, you got to live with it. Simona, we'll start with you and we'll work our way.
So I like what you just said. Anything you're deciding to do, you have to live with. Every decision you make, you have to decide not thinking about the other person. You have to know for yourself that this is what I can live with. And I think the biggest thing that I learned in getting older is that my intuition was always right. That feeling you have in your stomach, it's in your DNA. It is a part of your biology. If it is feeling off, then it's off. That doesn't mean you get the excuse to act crazy because you're like, oh, my intuition, you cheating, so I know you cheating. No. If you feel it, then clearly something is off and you don't need to be involved in whatever that situation is. It's not limited to cheating. It extends even into your job. If you're at work and you just feel this pit in your stomach, like the way that whoever talks to you just gives you that feeling, then clearly something is off. Go with your intuition. Don't act in haste.
Shar?
I think that I would say for me, when it comes to like making decisions, when I start to like think about drastic decisions, or like if, like you said, if your intuition is you feel something and it's off, I always think like, can I see the rest of my life like this? If you're in a situation where you arguing with your dude every day, like, can I see the rest of my life like this? If you're in a friendship and your friend is always asking you for money and never replaying, like, can things continue like this? And usually that's when you like know that you need to make a decision. You need to either let it go or have a conversation, keep at it. But for me, I think the test for me is always like, can I see the rest of my life like this? Like, can I go on doing this? So yeah, I think that's how I feel about it.
I think for me, when it comes to decision, is making it strictly for me. Sure, you can consult your family, your friends, but don't allow what their opinion is to influence your decision. At the end of the day, what works for somebody else may not work for you. What didn't work for someone else actually may work for you. A lot of times people make decisions based upon, well, you know, I dated a guy just like that and it didn't work. That doesn't mean that that's going to be your trajectory. I know people who meet, you know, in one day they get married and they have a happy relationship. I know people who meet and they've dated for 9 years and they get married, they have a terrible relationship. So understand that what is for you is for you, and with God's will, it's going to happen. And back to what I said before, once you make a decision, you got to live with it. This whole straddling the fence, being in the gray, just live with the thing. Just say, I'm going to do it. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, you got to move on, because guess what? At the end of the day, life goes on. So that's my advice, and I thank you for coming on the Nitty Gritty Show. Chardinae, it was amazing for you having you here. Thank you, Simona. You always are so much fun when you come. We're going to leave you guys with a little tune. What are we having, DJ Wani?
Friend Zone by Mila J.
Okay. So we'll leave you with that.
Right. That's where you put them in the friend zone.
In the friend zone.
That's where they put you in the
Sometimes I'm really in the friend zone right now, you know?
Everybody loves
everybody want to get
Cuffing season almost over.
Yeah, cuffing season is.
Y'all have Game of Thrones left, and that's about it,
Listen,
right?
this is a question. Can you date somebody that don't watch Game of Thrones? My answer is no. Like,